The notification goes out at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, and by noon, K. Dross no longer exists in the Vine City Hunter Registry, not dead, just erased in the way that matters. License downgraded to inactive, party affiliation cleared, rank history flagged with a single red annotation. Syndrome stage void. Prognosis terminal. Estimated active lifespan 1 year. The registry doesn't delete hunters, it just stops counting them. Soren Vale, guild leader of Ironfall, and the man who personally recruited Kayan 3 years ago, holds the press brief in the lobby at 2 in the afternoon. His 4 remaining hunters stand behind him in full gear, polished and ranked, a wall of S-class competence. Soren speaks without looking at the camera. We wish Kayan well, but Ironfall can't afford to run a terminal asset. Chain is only as strong as its weakest link. He pauses. He was a dead man walking. We made the only call a professional guild makes. Kayan watches it on a cracked tablet in a rented room 2 blocks from the tower. He closes the stream, sets the tablet face down, sits in the silence for exactly 4 minutes. He counts them, and then stands up, picks up his hunting coat, and walks out the door. He has 63 functioning days left, by the medical board's estimate. He intends to use all of them. The F-rank access dungeon on the south end of Veen smells like wet stone and mana bleed. Kayan enters it alone at dusk on the day. Soren's press brief runs on every major platform. The gate guard glances at his inactive tag and waves him through with the kind of pity that sits heavier than contempt. Inside, first corridor is full of C-rank hunters grinding for pocket money. Teenagers mostly, too young to remember a time when Kayan's name meant something. They part around him the way water parts around a rock. Not out of respect, just around. He is 26 years old and moves like he's 60. The mana rot does that. It eats the channels first, then the joints, then the will. By stage V, most hunters are bedridden. Kan is upright purely because he has decided to be, as upright is the only direction that leads to a dungeon boss. He finds one on the 4th sublevel, a Gravlord, C rank, slow, technically beneath him on paper. On paper, he still has a rank. His body doesn't know that. He fights it for 11 minutes, taking 2 hits that would have been trivial 3 months ago, and are now enough to drive him to 1 knee. He kills it anyway, exhausted and bleeding from a shoulder gash, and lies on the dungeon floor staring at the ceiling. His life force sits at 0.8%. System. Threshold condition met. System. Latent class unlocked. Hollow Sovereign. System. Passive ability active. Sovereign Drain. On defeat of an enemy, permanently absorb a percentage of target's vitality, mana channel integrity, and registered rank. Absorption rate scales with proximity to threshold. Current rate, 94%. System. Mana rot conversion initiated. Decay channels reclassified as drain channels. Rot progression, halted. Reversal. Active Kayan reads the floating text 3 times. Then he reads it a 4th. The Gravlord's vitality bleeds into him like cold water hitting an open wound. Uncomfortable. Then clarifying. Then undeniable. The shoulder gash closes. Not quickly, not magically, but it closes. And somewhere in his chest, channel that was collapsing simply, doesn't. He stands up. His legs don't shake. He goes back to the surface, eats a protein bar, returns to floor 1 of the main vein tower the next morning. He doesn't tell anyone. There is no one to tell. That's fine. The leaderboard will tell them eventually. He starts at the bottom of the ranked tower floors and works upward with the kind of patience that only comes from having your mortality confirmed on a Tuesday. Every cleared boss feeds the sovereign drain, vitality, mana channel integrity, additional rank points absorbed and compounded. By floor 12, his active channels outnumber what he had before the diagnosis. By floor 19, the medical board's 1-year estimate quietly revises itself in his blood work. Though no one is checking his blood work anymore. Soren's Ironfall clears floor 38 in the 3rd week, a minor milestone, broadcast on the Hunter Network with polished footage and a highlight reel. Kayan, entering floor 40 alone and without fanfare on the same afternoon, watches the broadcast on a lobby screen while waiting for the gate to cycle. Of the Ironfall members, his former teammate, a Fire Class A ranker named Het, is in the thumbnail, grinning, arm around Soren. Kayan studies the image for a moment. Calcates. Then the gate opens, and he walks through. Floor 40 is a ranked test node. It pits the challenger against an echo, a mirrored copy of themselves at peak registered stats. Most hunters treat it as a gut check, a confirmation of where they stand. Kayan's echo generates from his current absorbed data and is already stronger than anything he was 3 years ago. He fights it for 4 minutes. The echo is good. Kayan is better, because the echo doesn't have sovereign drain, and every hit it lands feeds him. He absorbs the echo at 94% efficiency. System floor 40 cleared solo. Rank recalculation in progress. System new registered rank A+. Leaderboard updated. The system doesn't announce it loudly. It simply updates the public board. 47 hunters notice within the hour. By morning, it's a thread, an inactive tag, cleared to A+ on a solo floor 40 run, no guild affiliation. The name, Kayan. The comments are split between confusion and disbelief, and 3 people tagging Soren Vale. Kayan is already on floor 41. He doesn't speed up. The Hollow Sovereign rewards patience, not aggression. The drain is most efficient when he fights at the edge of his limits, not safely above them. He treats every floor like the Gravlord on the first night. Measured, a little brutal, entirely intentional. By floor 60, the rot is not just halted, it is gone. His mana channels are cleaner than they have been since his early 20s. Rerouted through the drain architecture, the class built in their place. He looks different, not older, the opposite. Soren notices on floor 65. Not because he sees Kayan, because the leaderboard puts Kayan's name 3 slots above Ironfall's guild average, and Soren is the kind of man who checks the leaderboard the way other men check the weather. He calls a contact at the registry, asks about the inactive tag. The contact tells him the tag was quietly lifted 2 weeks ago, when Kayan's health metrics crossed back into the active threshold. Automatic process. Nobody sent a notification to Ironfall because Ironfall wasn't listed as an affiliated party anymore. Soren stares at the board. Ironfall is on floor 71 and climbing steadily, professionally, expensively, support staff, mana ration supply lines, 2 S-rankers and a full healer rotation. The kind of operation that costs 40 million credits a month to run. They will reach floor 85 in 6 weeks if the pace holds. Floor 100 is a projected 4-month push. Kayan, solo, no support, no healer. She's floor 85 in 11 days. He doesn't broadcast it. The tower does. Every floor has automated milestone sensors. Solo floor 85 clear triggers a mandatory public log. It posts at 3 a.m. and Vane City wakes up to it. By 9 a.m., every major hunter outlet is running the clip. By noon, the name Hollow Sovereign is everywhere, though no one knows yet what the class actually does. Only that an inactive tagged hunter who was called a dead man walking on live feed is somehow floor 85 alone, and his registered rank reads SS. Het sends a message, then Roya, the long-range class, then 2 more of his former teammates. The messages are careful and warm and entirely readable. Always believed in you, let's talk. Ironfall has room. Kane reads each one, does not reply. He enters floor 86. For floor 100 requires a formal tower broadcast. It's a rule built into the Vane Tower Charter. The final floor is a public event, streamed to every registered hunter terminal in the city, cause the last time someone cleared it was 19 years ago and the Hunter Authority decided the world should watch. The broadcast activates automatically when a challenger's hand touches the floor 100 gate. Kayan touches the gate at 11:14 a.m. on a clear morning, 41 days after his first night alone in the F-rank dungeon. The stream goes live to 60,000 terminals. He is wearing the same black hunter coat. His silver-white hair is pulled back. He looks nothing like the man on the registry footage from a year ago. Not the one being diagnosed. Not the one sitting in the rented room watching Soren's press brief. He looks like the leaderboard. He looks like the top of it. Floor 100 boss is a Titan-class apex. A creature the charter describes as beyond current rank calibration. Most projections assumed a full S-rank part of 6 would be required for a realistic clear attempt. Kayan fights it alone for 22 minutes. The sovereign drain pulls from it continuously. Every blow landed returns to him amplified. Every absorbed fraction of its mana structure flowing down channels that the rot once tried to ruin, and the class rebuilt into something better. At the 17-minute mark, the Apex's registered rank has been reduced by 61%. At 20 minutes, fighting at C-rank capacity, with a god-tier body, confused and slowing. At 22 minutes, Kayan ends it. System, floor 100 cleared, solo. System. Hollow Sovereign maximum absorption threshold reached. Class evolution. Hollow Sovereign, Void Sovereign, System. All prior rank ceilings removed. Leaderboard classification, unranked. Above system, 60,000 terminals display the same screen. The lobby of Vane Tower is packed. It always fills during a Floor 100 broadcast. Hunters, analysts, guild representatives, journalists. And near the front gate, Soren Vale, who arrived 2 hours early and has been standing very still. Ironfall is on floor 74. They stalled at floor 72 for 9 days and pushed through yesterday with an emergency healer rotation that cost them their quarterly reserve. They will reach floor 100 in, at best, 3 months. That's assuming no further stalls. That's assuming a lot. Kane descends via the transit lift and walks out through the tower's main entrance at 11:51 a.m. The crowd parts, the cameras turn, and Soren Vale steps forward. Not with confidence, not with the posture of a guild leader at a press brief. He steps forward the way a man steps forward when there is nothing left to calculate. He kneels, in front of the cameras, front of 60,000 streams still running their post-clear feed. Kane, his voice holds, barely. Ironfall needs you. I was wrong. Terms you want, party leader, full equity, whatever it takes. He pauses. Please. Kane looks at him for a long moment. Long enough that 60,000 people hold their breath across 60,000 terminals. Then he turns, adjusts his coat, and walks toward the city. No words, no backward glance. The leaderboard behind him reads, Kane Dross, Void Sovereign, unranked, above system. Below it, in 43rd place. Ironfall Guild, floor 74. The gap doesn't need a caption. It speaks entirely for itself.